Fitness star Liver King is yelling about Joe Rogan, daring him to fight, and then ends up in cuffs with a buzzing ankle monitor. On the other, rising MMA killer Ilia Topuria literally bumps into former champ Charles Oliveira backstage, both smiling but ready to throw hands in daze. These moments are so crazy that you can't help leaning closer. How did a raw meat influencer scare the biggest podcaster alive? And why is the UFC lightweight belt suddenly in limbo again? Let's dive in.
What are your thoughts on Ilia Topuria and Ilia Topuria as a fighter? How do you feel about just the overall fight?
É uma grande luta. Ele é um grande lutador, mas eu não preciso provar mais nada pra ninguém de quem eu sou, o que eu já fiz dentro do cage. Essa luta chegou numa oportunidade gigantesca. Vou nocautear esse cara. Essa é ela.
Ilia Topuria's confidence is on another planet right now, and he's not shy about showing it. The featherweight champ-turned-lightweight hopeful keeps telling the world that once he snatches gold from Charles Oliveira, he will not hand out freebies. Reporters asked if he would give Islam Makhachev a quick shot should Islam lose up at welterweight and then drop back down. Ilia shook his head. He said losses have consequences and champions should not babysit old rulers. He used himself as proof, reminding everyone how the UFC forced him to move up after a rough weight cut and make things right before giving him another big fight. To him, that lesson matters. He also brushed off Arman Tsarukyan, who is flying to Vegas as the safety pick in case Charles or Ilia misses weight. In Ilia's eyes, Arman still needs a real signature win, not a backup pass. Fans online argued that Ilia is already talking like a diva, but the Georgian-Spanish star just grinned. He said the belt is his future, and whoever wants it must stand in the same fire he did. Whether you love that swagger or hate it, you cannot ignore it, ever. Simple as that.
He was in here earlier and he said that he gets the impression you kind of hate him.
He don't really talk good about me. I don't know why. I did nothing to him, you know?
I'm curious if you do, or if there is any hard feelings, or what's your opinion of him in general?
While the lightweight drama boiled, the matchmakers were busy setting fire to other parts of the calendar. First up is a light heavyweight fireworks show in Shanghai when flashy Brazilian Johnny Walker meets red-hot Chinese finisher Yan Ming. Walker is trying to stop a painful slide after 2 nasty knockouts, and he knows another loss could push him out of the top 15. Ming steps into his own backyard, riding a monster 12-fight win streak and fresh off a 1-round beatdown of Anthony Smith, so the buzz in Asia is wild. On the very same night, the fans get a bonus. Former bantamweight king Aljamain Sterling jumps to featherweight to test slick grappler Brian Ortega. Both men are coming off decision losses, and both need a statement to prove they are not yesterday's news. 1 month earlier, in July, welterweight troublemaker Kevin Holland squares off with durable boxer Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez at UFC 318. Each man carries back-to-back victories and knockout power, and social media trash talk between them is already heating up. These 3 matchups may not have gold on the line, but they promise chaos, loud crowds, and highlight clips that will bounce all over timelines all day long.
Is John Jones scared to fight you?
Yes. John is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him.
Deep in the heavyweight jungle, Tom Aspinall suddenly wears the undisputed crown after John Jones quietly walked away. Tom spent months on the sidelines healing knees and elbows, so now he feels like a lion finally let out of a cage. He told a podcast host that fighting only once a year is a waste of his prime, so he is begging the UFC for 2 dates before New Year's Eve. His first target appears to be Cyril Gane, the smooth French striker who just phoned matchmaker Hunter Campbell to say he is ready and willing. Tom likes that idea because their styles clash in a fun way. Gane glides like a middleweight, while Tom moves quick but can also wrestle and rip submissions. Fans remember how Gane lost to Jones in minutes, so they wonder if he can solve Aspinall's mix of speed and grappling. Tom shrugs off that chatter. He says he just wants to feel the rush again, leave with no injuries, and squeeze in a second main event before Christmas lights go up. If everything goes right, the new king hopes to remind everyone that heavyweight can be fast, technical, and thrilling, not slow or sloppy. In the days before the fight, backstage cameras caught Ilia Topuria turning a corner and nearly colliding with Charles Oliveira. For a split second, the hallway froze. Security guards braced, coaches held breath, but nothing happened except 2 wide smiles and a respectful fist bump. Still, the moment showed their mindsets. Each man intends to march forward first when the cage door shuts. Ilia claims he will need only 2 or 3 minutes because Charles's aggressive style opens huge targets. He visualizes a looping right hand, a knockdown, and then diving into guard to finish what others feared to start. Charles hears all of that and laughs. He says pressure made him champion once and will do so again. His plan is simple: walk through fire, throw long kicks to the body, clinch when Ilia swings wild, and hunt the back if the fight hits the mat. Analysts debate whose stubbornness will break first. Some think Charles's experience will matter, pointing to quick adjustments he made against tough opponents. Others say Ilia's youth and ferocity will force those same habits to fall apart. Whatever the result, the buildup has the tension of a drawn bowstring ready to snap at impact.
Who should he be fighting next? Ilia Topuria, or should he get the rematch with Charles Oliveira?
Man, that's tough to say. Who's next in line right now for him? Do you know?
Could be Oliveira, it could be Topuria if he goes up.
Yeah, but there's still guys, I think, at 45 for Topuria to fight. And I've never seen Topuria in person, but if he can make 145, dude, Islam's a big guy.
Big guy.
I think he's going to be a lot bigger than Topuria, but...
Dustin Poirier knows exactly how hard Charles Oliveira can squeeze because he felt that rear naked choke bite in the 3rd round of their 2021 war. So when Dustin says Ilia Topuria might win, people listen. Speaking in plain talk, Dustin points out that Charles gets hit a lot, sometimes by shots he sees coming, sometimes by wild overhands he never expects. Dustin explains that most rivals knock Oliveira down, then back away, worried about his slick guard. Ilia, he argues, is different. The young bulldozer grew up on mats, believes in his top game, and will likely dive straight into danger after landing a big punch. Dustin breaks it down like a kid's lesson. Stay all the way outside kicking or crash inside clinching. Never hang in the middle where Ilia's shorter arms can land tight hooks. He remembers Charles doing that perfectly against him, smothering his boxing before wrapping around his back like a backpack. If Charles copies that blueprint again, Dustin thinks he has a path. But if he plays hero and trades in the pocket, Dustin warns the fight could end fast. His honest, measured take adds one more log to an already roaring debate for fans.
Damn, you really want my spot, huh? Damn, what? If I dominate this guy, I might call out Kamaru, but how I'm gonna do that? And then I was struggling, like, yeah, I'm gonna be nice, you know? I'm watching the fight and I'm cheering. I'm on there. Yes, yeah, do that. Kamaru, you're next.
Gilbert Burns, known for both thunderous fists and world-class grappling, took a break from training to dissect the upcoming Renato Moicano versus Beneil Dariush clash. He drew a simple picture. Both men are high level on the ground, so they will likely cancel each other there, turning the duel into pure kickboxing. Burns says the first clean knockdown will swing everything because whoever falls will land under a shark that knows how to control or finish. He walks fans through best-case scenes almost like telling a bedtime story. If Beneil scores the big shot, he can blanket Moicano, use heavy hips, chip away, and maybe force a stoppage. Flip the script, and Moicano on top is even more ruthless with elbows and hammer fists that open cuts fast. Burns reminds everyone that Beneil's only recent losses came to killers like Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan. Outside those slip-ups, he has looked sharp. He also recounts how Beneil once got rocked by Drakkar Klose, creating that famous Joe Rogan meme face. By highlighting each man's strengths and past stumbles, Burns helps viewers picture a chess match that could explode at any moment, making this underrated fight suddenly feel must-see for Fight Night fans everywhere.
It does seem like Islam's on Twitter already saying it's time to be double champion and all the rest of it. So it seems like you are the fight he wants. Do you think that's the one that makes the most sense?
I think that a lot of good welterweights. Obviously, I think Islam's what he's done is probably giving him.
Islam Makhachev shocked many supporters when he announced he was moving up to welterweight to hunt Jack Della Maddalena's new belt. Sitting with reporters, Islam said timing is everything. He had waited for Arman Tsarukyan to build a streak, but Arman pulled out of a key fight, and now the lightweight division feels stale to him. Meanwhile, Jack's rise has the whole world talking, and Islam admits chasing a fresh mountain helps him wake up early and grind harder. There is another factor: Ramadan. If he stayed at lightweight, title defenses would be pushed deep into next year, leaving the 155-pound belt frozen. Islam hates that idea. By climbing to 170 now, he can set his schedule, fight in October or November, and avoid clashing with his month of fasting. He knows Jack has improved wrestling, trains with strong grapplers, and is dangerous everywhere, but those challenges excite him. Plus, Hunter Campbell reminded Islam that friendship with contender Belal Muhammad should not block competition. They can shake hands before and after. Islam's calm tone hides big ambition. He wants to prove he can hold gold in 2 classes without stalling either, carving his name deeper into UFC history for good. In the buzzing flyweight scene, New Zealand striker Kai Kara France is gearing up to challenge Iron Willed champion Alexander Pantoja at UFC 317. Kai's plan is brave and clear. Stand in the pocket, fire combos, and become the first fighter in the UFC to knock Pantoja out. He admits it could turn into a 5-round dogfight, but he is not backing up. He points to his 12 career knockouts and his division-leading takedown defense as reasons fans should believe. Training footage shows him drilling hip escapes and sprawl and brawl patterns over and over. Coaches shout simple cues like walls up, hands fly, building muscle memory. Pantoja's camp counters that no one has broken the Brazilian's chin, and his backpack-style submissions wear out even the toughest challengers. Kai answers that he is studying every angle, especially how to circle off the fence and rip the liver when Pantoja shoots. The matchup feels like classic striker versus grappler, but both men have sneaky skills in the other area, making it a puzzle. Kai told reporters he wants to make history for Oceania and for his young son, who watches every training clip. That personal drive adds extra fuel to an already electric showdown ahead.
Do you think Ilia Topuria is going to be the champion in the lightweight division?
Man, I would like to see Topuria against Makhachev, but I think that Makhachev is moving up now. But there's so many fights, so many good fights to be made. I think we're in a great time. It's a great time for UFC now.
Long-retired legend Georges St-Pierre sat down in a quiet studio and spoke about something most fans feel but rarely define: star power. He said the UFC does have shining names, yet the sport was unlucky lately because several bright lights dimmed at once. Sean O'Malley, Israel Adesanya, and Alex Pereira all carried huge hype, then took tough losses that cooled the buzz. GSP compared it to a rock concert where the headliner breaks a guitar string early. The music goes on, but the mood drops. He pointed out that Conor McGregor was an outlier, someone people either loved or hated but never ignored, and recreating that level of magnetic pull is harder than any knockout. Still, GSP believes new superstars always arise because records beg to be broken. He also defended the UFC's habit of matching champions with true #1 contenders, not easy dance partners, saying that honesty keeps mixed martial arts more respected than boxing. In simple words, he warned that when big favorites fall, pay-per-view numbers might dip, yet the long-term health of the sport demands difficult fights. His balanced view reminds young fans that excitement and merit can live together even in the same octagon over time. Outside the octagon, a different storm brewed when Liver King, the influencer famous for eating raw organs, posted videos calling out Joe Rogan. In the clips, he pounded his chest, vowed to fly to Austin, and dared Joe to choke him out. Viewers laughed at first, thinking it was a silly stunt, but police soon arrested him for threats. Hours later, he appeared online wearing an ankle monitor and said Joe had filed a restraining order. Liver King tiptoed around the name, using lines like, "someone whose first name rhymes with blow," claiming he could be sued for saying more. Fans pieced together the backstory. Rogan had called foul on Liver King's all-natural claim long before leaked emails showed steroid use. That challenge seems to have sparked the rage. For Joe, who spends hours talking with fighters about honesty, the escalation feels surreal. Lawyers now warn that breaking the court order can land Liver King in jail, so the next move is his. The strange saga mixes internet bragging with legal reality and shows that words posted for clicks can bring handcuffs in real life. It also reminds creators that spotlight fame can flip to spotlight shame in seconds.